Hello and welcome to the first Dominion Daily of 2026. It's January 1st. Happy New Year. We are playing with Hinterlands, Allies, and that's it. Yeah, this is a 2 Kingdom Day, so that makes sense. Okay. And so we've got Spice Merchant, Develop, and Souk for trashing. We've got Guard Dog and Blacksmith as the draw. I'm trying to see. I don't think there's a way to make trail into actual draw, but it will make some things less stop cards than they would otherwise be. Plus actions, town, and then trail more so. That is plus actions. Are there any Spice Merchant with Elder? Isn't it normally there's in the townsfolk pile there's some Elder synergies. Town Crier and Blacksmith. And Town Spice. Actually, that's the bigger one. Spice Merchant and Town provide some additional synergies. The town one I would say is probably the more significant one in general, if only because you're going to have more towns in your deck and more opportunities to collide that if you do have Elder. Anyway, and then plus buy, lots of that. Town, Souk, Spice Merchant, Galleria. There's also gains from Weaver, and Town Crier can gain silvers, and Develop can gain cards. And this is all combined with Highway. I guess Highway makes it harder for Galleria to do stuff, but potentially, I guess, depending on the number of highways. But plenty of gains. And a lot of them can be made non-terminal thanks to trail, so that's cool. Okay, so Souk, Guard Dog has some synergy. You decrease your hand size, play your Souk, and then you play your Guard Dog, draw back up. Similarly with Blacksmith. So that's something to look out for. Although, having said that, I'm not actually sure what you do to decrease your hand size, particularly to set that up. But it also doesn't necessarily matter too much, because if you're playing with highways, you don't need a ton of money from the Souks. You can and you can also get some from town, particularly Elder Town, where you're also getting the plus actions. Anyway, so I definitely think it's going to be valuable to get thin, because we don't want to have to draw through starting cards. So Spice Merchant Develop is compelling. Weaver also looks good. Weaver can gain trails and guard dogs and towns, and then eventually can gain more expensive cards once you have Highway in play. I think I'd still rather start with the Spice Merchant between the two and then pick up the Weaver in the next shuffle. Trying to think if there's any reason not to open with Develop. Developing estates here isn't like the best thing ever. Develop them into guard dogs. You just end up with a few too many guard dogs too quickly, but that way potentially. But I think it's still. I mean, in terms of trashing estates, it's either that or Souk. I'm gonna go ahead and click on Spice Merchant. It's either that or Souk. We don't really want silver in the deck anyway. We probably do want silver in the deck to gain, or sorry, not silver, Develop in the deck to develop trails into Highway Guard Dog, Souk Guard Dog, that sort of thing. I guess I could imagine a scenario in which we end up taking some silvers at some point with that and then just trashing them with Spice Merchant. But yeah, I think Develop. Okay. Three. That's a little unfortunate. We could take a Town Crier. Yeah, we're not going to hit 4 next turn either. That's pretty annoying. Should we take 1 silver? Yeah, I guess that's what would have been the argument for going Spice Merchant for coins buy to pick up a Weaver. So yeah, next time we're gonna have develop a state, 3 copper. We're gonna have, oh man. Between the 3 threes that we potentially would be gaining, taking at least 1 silver does seem like it might be a good idea. So I think I'm gonna do that now. And then I guess second develop is also an option. I don't super want that though. Yeah, I'm gonna top deck a guard dog, and then second guard dog doesn't make a lot of sense either. We could take 1 more silver, we could take the town crier. The advantage to taking 1 more silver is if we just play, like if we don't see either of our, well, I guess the develop wouldn't be able to play both that and the guard dog anyway, but if we don't see the spice merchant, taking a silver makes it more likely that we hit, like, you know, a useful number. Are gonna eventually have to trash the silver, but yeah, I think it's fine. Like if we can get to Souk and Highway and stuff, that will be useful. Okay, well, we do see the Spice Merchant. That's good. Seeing the develop, less good, but I mean, we could develop the guard dog. Gain it. Let me think about this. Absolute worst case scenario here, we draw 2 estates. And that is pretty bad. Develop the guard dog. We could take Town Crier, Trail in that order. Then we draw the Town Crier, and we could just play the Town Crier for 2 coins if we wanted to. Well, our next turn is pretty crap in that case. I think I'm just going to play the guard dog. Yeah, I was going to say, the odds of us drawing 2 estates there are quite low. All right, now I want that Weaver. Okay, this is definitely Souk. Now I'm more into developing the dark guard dog and taking a trail. I think interesting. But at some point rotated this. I didn't even catch that happening. We developed the guard dog. We don't necessarily have to weave trail. We could weave a town, which would be a useful card to get into the deck. I think that's what I want to do. Oh, wait. We don't have town criers there anymore. Oh, that's so rude. Ugh. Oh, that's obnoxious. Ugh. Okay. I don't... Yeah, I definitely don't want to top deck an estate. Okay. Let's just take a trail then. And honestly, I think just develop copper by nothing. Develop the souk. What? Boy, they're really going hard on the towns. That's annoying. Really like to see... Yes, my develop, thank you. Okay. So first of all, we're definitely doing that and that. And then... We could get another souk and trash a copper, but we have the spice merchant in hand anyway. I think we take a highway. Oh, wait. We probably want the highway second. Another develop should be fine now. I mean, not this turn so much, but we do have 2 trails and we're probably going to get more. Well, I guess the order didn't matter. Never mind. Whatever. Okay. We could definitely use a town. I wonder if... Do we just take that? A little unfortunate not to make use of the plus buy, but I don't really want another guard dog or a silver. Eh. Ugh. It's not what I wanted. Is it worth... doing something with this? Or do we just buy a 5? This has definitely played out more awkwardly than I thought it would. I could just take another highway. Or a town. Easier to gain the 5s through develop. So I think I'm going to trash a copper and take a town. Alright, now we have to be cognizant of the highway. Well, we only have the 1 highway for now, so maybe that's not so pressing, but at some point we're going to have to be cognizant of the highway develop interaction. Yeah, 1 highway doesn't matter except that it makes developing copper bad, but that's whatever. I mean, we can start with Spice Merchant trashing the copper. That's fine. It would be really nice to activate this guard dog. That's the souk. Oh, we can Weaver for a 5. We could Weavers for souk and trash 2 trails and activate them. Interesting. That would give us some extra actions. What it wouldn't do is give us a good develop target necessarily. We're out of copper, aren't we? I still think this is going to be the best thing we can do with the turn. So now the guard dog is activated, but do we want to... Gonna need to play at least one of these for card action, I think. Do terminal, terminal, terminal. That's not great. What are we doing with these develops? It feels like we're going to have to develop the silvers. I mean, I guess if we were to gain one more Souk, we could trash an estate that we'd gain that way. Well, maybe never mind. Yeah. Does not make sense to develop here, I don't think. Well, hold on. We develop silver into estate trail. Draw the estate. Yeah, no, I think this does work. All right, and then we do it again. And we buy a Souk. I think we want highway, we want town. Elder wouldn't be bad either if we could line it up with town, but we can, yeah, we probably just take town because, again, it's easier to gain the 5s with develop. Want a second guard dog now? Probably not, because, again, we can gain more of those with the develop stuff. This is not ideal. I don't think I want to play the guard dog. Okay. I'll develop. Trail. And take probably another highway and maybe another develop. We've got another trail in hand. Now we can do Souk, activate the guard dog. Haven't played any highways yet. One highway is not going to change anything, as discussed. 2 highways. Changes like copper estate interaction, but that doesn't matter. It would be good to develop the spice merchant now, but we need more actions for that. We do have a 3rd develop, so I'm thinking we develop into an elder that we can use to play the town, maybe, or maybe just another highway is just better. Not sure. It is good to get more buys, but well, it's hard to see what we're usually going to get. I mean, I guess we could take a silver and not trash the spice merchant. That's reasonable. That last card should be another trail, I think. No, 1, 2, 3, 4. Never mind. What is that last card? I'm not going to have anything to develop. Oh no, it's the Weaver. Okay. I don't know what we're going to do with that. Yeah, this, compared to some of the other recent trail boards where the bot ignored trail, this one is way harder to play. But I think we take Silver Highway. That. Do that. Oh, we could develop the silver into a trail without taking a second card. That's the advantage of the number of highways we have in play right now. The problem is that the Weaver... If the Weaver... It would really have been nice if the Weaver wasn't bottom decked. It's like... There's just no way for us to, like, gain something with the Weaver that, like, has an impact on our current turn. If we had the Weaver in hand but, like, didn't have the develop, we could, you know, Weaver for a trail to draw the develop, but this way around... I mean, we can still Weaver for a trail, but... Yeah, and there's just, like... I guess the question is, would we rather... We could leave the Weaver where it is, and we could develop to just top deck something. I don't love developing the Spice Merchant right now with that, though, because there's nothing, like, particularly useful to top deck. We could... If we develop Silver into Trail, it has the advantage that then we can also Weaver for Trail, play Spice Merchant, and then play both of the Souks. But actually, getting the extra money out of the Souks isn't very important anyway, because of the highways. We could top deck a town, and then we have that on top for next turn, which is nice. I think I'd like that, actually. Oh, wait, we're an action short. Hold up. Never mind. Okay, let's just... Yeah, I think it's important to get these buys. Let's just do Trail. I'll just gain another one. It won't hurt to have those in the deck. All right, we're definitely taking the last two towns. That much is clear. So we did end up getting 5 towns despite the bot's early efforts. Elder would... So piles are kind of low. Not, like, crazy low, given that the bot doesn't have a Weaver and only has 1 develop, maybe? I'm not even sure it does. Oh, and it has a Souk in the trash, too. I'd forgotten about that. 1, 2, 3... Yeah, it does. Okay. I was pretty sure it had open develop, but... Yeah, with 1 develop... I mean, it has a bunch of towns that it can, in theory, use for plus buy, but it doesn't have, like, a good way to actually do that too much. I don't love putting provinces into this deck, that's for sure. Lowering highways is honestly probably safe, but maybe it's better to just go, like, double Elder and try to use that as a way to get more buys for next turn. I should have looked at how many highways I played. What did Sooks cost, like 2, so I played 3? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so the bot also has 3 highways. Alright. Winning here seems not out of the realm of possibility. Okay, we got our first Elder Town. That's good. The guard dog is active, and this seems like a fine time to activate it. Thanks to the Elder. Elder Town again. Okay. Developing is not currently affected by... Do we want to get to the point where developing trail only gains us a 5? Quite possibly. Quite possibly. The advantage of gaining a 3 is we could get another guard dog. The disadvantage is that maybe we don't want another guard dog. We don't have to make that decision quite yet. We could develop this spice merchant. It should be easy enough for us to buy out highways. I think we can afford to just Weaver for Trail, like just to get the additional plus actions. I think we do that. Okay, well, we do have more develops, so I think... Oh, and gaining more develops is not necessarily bad either for the game plan here. So yeah, let's develop a trail and take... develop highway. Gonna have to play one of the trails, but that's okay. Develop trail. Take. We just take develop highway again? Or is there a reason to take a guard dog? We are going to have excess develops, I imagine. I think that's okay. Wait. No. No, this is the right order. Okay. We maybe don't need that action, but we probably do. Now we don't take... We're not going to be getting develops off the trail, which I think is fine. Oh, shoot. We ran out of draw. Well, fortunately, we only need to buy... Oh, we could develop the Souk into a trail. I guess we do that. I mean, we do have the win anyway, right? We have 4 buys, so we can buy trail, province, or whatever. Developing the Souk into a trail also gets us one of those gains. And also means that we get to draw further. I guess we should have taken a guard dog. Alternatively, we develop the spice merchant into a duchy just for extra points. That might actually be optimal. Guess we would do that. Probably not do that. Yeah, that was a tough one to pilot. I definitely think you want to be doing the trail stuff. As usual, the bot ignores it. But it was like less straightforwardly easy and good compared to other recent games like that. Specifically because there just wasn't like an easily spammable card to gain in the 3 cost slot to develop trail into. Um, I mean, gaining more develops has its merits, but it definitely has its downsides as well. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe someday the bot will. I think the only reason the bot even gained a trail this game was because it played enough highways that trail cost 1 and it developed its last copper, and so it took a trail. It was like, and maybe towns were already out when it did that. That was when that happened. Yep, towns were already out, so it didn't have the option to take a town. Otherwise, it probably would have. It, I mean, it could have taken a spice merchant or a weaver, but I suppose it knows enough that that wouldn't be the way. Although, I mean, weaver was good here. It's just for that particular point in its turn, I don't think it would have accomplished anything. But yeah, in any case, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.